Hello, Brattleboro. My name is Cesar, and today we're here. Okay, stop, everybody. Stop it. Stop the tape. Okay. Sorry, but let me tell you something. The audio you're about to hear on this episode, my voice is not really there, so it's not that cool. But anyways, we're gonna continue with the interview because they came to the studio. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna play the interview with the really bad audio, and then I'm gonna take you to the streets of Brattleboro. So enjoy this. Sharon and Chris are gonna talk about West Brattleboro arts, and enjoy. Your ArtStory again, your art show brought to you by the Windham Art Council, and today we have a really cool show. We have Sharon Myers and Chris Lynn.
Lann.
Chris Lynn, right?
Lann.
Yeah, there we go. I got it right. Chris Lynn and Sharon Myers. Now, Sharon, you are an overall artist.
I am.
You do all kinds of stuff. Can you tell us a little bit
What I do?
These days.
These days. I do a lot of different things these days, besides gardening, which we all love.
Oh, I love gardening.
Yeah. I am a quilt maker. I have done portrait busts, portrait sculpture, and currently my artwork is involved with women's issues and lingerie and marriage. Interesting combination. And I also have a catering business, so I keep pretty busy.
Wow, yeah, that's quite a few things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're gonna dive into it, but we also want to introduce Chris. Chris, you're a jewelry and silversmith.
That's correct.
Here in town.
That's right.
And can you tell us just a little brief before we go into
Sure. I take elements of nature, sticks, stones, and I cast them in silver, and that's the beginning point for a lot of my jewelry. I also do a lot of hand knit fine silver chains, and yeah, that sort of sums up the bulk of what I do.
It's
Everything
beautiful.
100% handmade. Well, thank you.
No, I've seen a couple pictures of all this stuff that you've. Well, actually, I don't know if I've seen pictures of the stuff you've sent.
I don't think you have my pictures, no.
But you do have some stuff.
That's right, and anybody can check it out at my website, which is chrislanddesigns.com.
Nice, cool. So today we're here with you, both of you, but the main thing that we want to talk about is the Brattleboro West Arts.
Right.
And can you tell us a little bit what that is?
It's a group of, how many? 30?
About 30,
35? Yeah, artists who live on the west side of 91. Is that
That's
our
right.
boundary?
Yes.
Something like that. And
the Whetstone Brook
the Whetstone Brook
watershed.
zone, yep. And we all band together 8 years ago. And just to put a group of artists together who lived in a similar area to support each other. And it has been a really wonderful organization. I think it's been helpful to everyone. And it's great because not only do we meet as a group, we have monthly potlucks, we have events, we help each other. We have developed critique groups. So that's really helpful as an artist who's working alone in the studio.
Yeah, having somebody to bounce ideas off.
That's right. That's
Yes.
right.
And how many artists do you guys have in the, collective? We call it that.
30.
Yeah, about 30 at any given time. The membership fluctuates up and down a little bit each year, but yeah, it's really great because we all get together to share a meal every month, usually in the house of one of the members. But something we've started doing recently is to have a program each year, or at each potluck, where one of the members leads sort of a presentation or a demonstration or leads the group in an activity that's all sort of geared toward fostering a shared creative experience.
Right.
So they all do it together, and by doing that, we get a sense not only of a technique that artist might be using, but it sort of enlightens things about our own art, that even though it might be a totally different technique, it's just nice to share space with somebody and create something new together.
And sometimes when you work in a different medium, it gives you an idea of how to go back to your medium and change it, even though it's a totally different material.
You can take some stuff from it.
You just take an idea, you take a vision, you take a sliver of something.
A little piece of inspiration that sticks.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That is great. I feel like we lack that support sometimes for younger people in schools. I don't know. What was your experience in growing up as an artist?
I didn't grow up as an artist.
Who
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I know? Right. I mean,
It was not something. Was it something that
you know, when I was young, I would always literally lock myself in my room and draw. There wasn't a support system. I did things in art in school, but I never would have labeled myself that way. It was after I graduated from college, where I majored in sculpture, that I gave myself permission to think on those terms. But I also created a career to keep me going while I did my art. So it was always in the background, it was always there, and the reason I'm doing the kind of work I am now is because I decided to go back to school and get my master's in fine arts in the studio. And so this group has been totally supportive in helping me grow in that program and to develop my work. And out of this, I am actually now in a fiber group. There are 4 of us. We work with thread, we work with yarn, we work with quilting, basketry, you know, anything that has to do with fabric. And there are 4 of us. And the support and inspiration we can give each other is so powerful because we know how to use the material. Mm-hmm. Before I was in a group with a banjo maker, and all I could ask was, how do you do that? What kind of wood are you using? Mm-hmm. But now I can say, take that fabric, and if you do some, whatever it is with it, or I can say you need some color, but because I know the medium, I can say how to add the color, as opposed to paint some red on there. Well, when you paint, you can vary the edge of something, but when you're using with fabric, it's more likely that it's a confined shape. Mm-hmm. So you have to say, you need X amount. And
mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
the technical words that is you're more. Mm-hmm.
You always need the right vocabulary.
Yeah. Because have you found any? I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of jewelers.
Yes.
There we go. And the collective.
I'm the only one. Well, I'm one of 2 actually. Jen Weekers, who's going to be part of the tour, she splits her time between painting really wonderful encaustic paintings and jewelry. So she started in jewelry and has moved to painting, but still does both. Yeah. And she's a newer member in the group. But your vocabulary of textiles, since I do woven chains and things like that, there are things that we can have a conversation about things, which is, even though we're working in different media. But
we work with the quote threads in a similar fashion.
Right.
Yeah.
I would be very. I was like, what are you talking about?
Exactly.
But if you talk about comedy, then I might maybe not even know much.
But it's true with any field. It has a vocabulary.
Yeah,
I mean, the plumber has a vocabulary. The woodworker has a vocabulary.
Editing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's so helpful when you have that small group.
Nice. So when is first of all, how can people get involved with you guys or enjoy your group?
Well, we have, like I say, we have our monthly potlucks, and those are usually they're just by invitation. If you're if you know somebody who's in the group, say, hey, can I come to the meeting? And somebody would be.
You can't join, but you can come.
Our membership is restricted by geography, but and with the sort of caveat that we also do associate members who can be from outside our geographical zone. But basically anybody can come by invitation to a potluck. And we're also taking our programs, like I said, where one person does a presentation or something, we're starting to take those out and offer them to the public. Sometimes we'll open a potluck up with or without the food and make it a public event somewhere. And in May 15th, we're going to be having a program like that at Mitchell Giddings Fine Arts. By the way, Petria Mitchell and Jim Giddings are original members of Brattleboro West Arts also, and they've started their great gallery downtown. But Jackie Abrams, a textile artist, is going to be giving a talk there about her travels in Africa, and it's one example of how Brattleboro West Arts is sort of taking our stuff out to the world. We're coming out of West Brattleboro and trying to invade downtown
Yeah, right.
on a sort of and make a concerted effort to have a presence downtown.
She's in New Zealand now, but she'll be back.
She'll be back.
But the other thing is, open studios, which is one of the things that we're doing, 5 of us, for the ArtExtravaganza. I'm not
ArtStravaganza?
whatever, however you say it. Yeah. So,
Weekend.
and then we've had open studios, and that's a good way for people to meet, come, see what we do, be overwhelmed. I have to clean my studio first, but it'll be all set up by the 8th.
Yeah, well, this is a
So,
great
yeah.
one. It was really a pop-up thing. We were really glad that the Arts Council put the weekend together so we could, I'm not going to be participating in this tour myself. I'll be in the next one, but
When is the next one? Is it the end of May?
Memorial Day weekend.
Memorial Day
is
weekend.
the statewide Vermont Craft Council tour that I'll be part of, and along with 5 other UWA folks. But it's great to be able to like have sort of an event that we can just sort of sweep the floor, open the doors, step into, and Walter Slewinski, who's a potter, wood-fired potter, and the coordinator of our group, which is like the president. He'll be doing a wood-fired kiln firing that day during the event, so it's really neat.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, get to see
And
it
this-
really from the inside out.
This particular tour is very easy because we're all within a mile and a half of
Yes,
each other.
okay.
It's you can easily hit all 5 of us without any problem. Whereas other times, there's a map and you have to go.
Place to place. I got lost on my way.
I'm in a swamp. What happened? Right. No, you don't have that problem on this one.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's good.
And there's a map. You can go to our website and look at
There is a map.
And,
Yeah.
so you can navigate around.
Nice. What are your hopes for Brattleboro Arts? Like, how do you see it growing? I guess in the next couple, you have a vision.
Well, we're working toward, like I said, making inroads to downtown. We'll be having, we're in the works to try and find a sort of a semi-permanent or ongoing display space where Brattleboro West Arts members can have stuff up in a public sort of all the time sort of situation. But short of that, or on the way to that, we also have a holiday show that we do at the 118 Flat Street space.
Oh, 118 Elliott.
That's right.
Or yeah,
Elliott.
118 Elliott, said that wrong. And that continues on.
I love that space.
Yeah, it's a really great place.
Good
We did a
space.
show there last December, and we're going to continue again this December with a show there at the beginning for a gallery walk weekend. And
I think that the important thing is that Brattleboro keeps growing as an art community. It just keeps growing. The galleries get better, there are more people, they get better, and we're glad to be a part of it. And it's nice to have our own little group within that presence.
Yeah.
So, there's the Putney Craft Tour, there's the, what's it called?
Rock River.
Rock River Craft Tour, craft, whatever. That's, I guess, an old word for these tours, art
Yeah.
tours. And then there's ours, and there are probably things that, forgive me, the rest of you, for omitting. But I think the more events there are, and the more awareness, I think it brings people into the area. And I think that Gallery Walk and the Mitchell Giddings have done, that has been a great addition to the community.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's built
It's
up.
really helped build the community.
That's great. I was gonna ask, like, how do you see the art in Brattleboro? Because that's how it feels. Like, I've been here 2 years, and it's been like little, like I feel like, I don't know, I haven't been here for so long, but I can see in the last 2 years it's like exploded with art.
What number are we on in the top
Oh.
10 best little art towns in America?
Yeah, I don't
We're
know.
in there someplace.
Yeah.
What?
We're in the, no, yeah, absolutely.
Great little sleeper.
Great.
Brattleboro.
Yeah, Brattleboro's in there.
Cool. Then I'm glad that I said once that if you're an artist, then Brattleboro is like the place to be.
It is the place to be.
It is the place to be. There are a lot of places to be, but this is a good one.
This is our place to be.
Yeah. We like this town.
Yeah, I like it too. I wanted to go. I feel like I didn't go too much in depth with your both individually your art and stuff. So I'm start with you, Sharon. How I guess lately you've been making a lot of clothing. or?
Okay, so
What is?
Unmaking.
yeah,
is-
I've been unmaking. I've been unmaking clothing. It's more like that. When I started grad school, I had to do something other than portrait sculpture because there wasn't enough time to make a portrait bust, dry it, fire it within 14 weeks. It just couldn't do it. So I ended up working with women's lingerie. It's a long story, but anyway, that's how it ended up. And over the 5-year period that I was in school, it went from, I guess, drawing to collage to installation. And my senior thesis process was in 4 parts, and it had to do with weddings, and it included a wedding gown, it included words that were calligraphy inside organza envelopes, it included a book, folding books that had to do with marriage and relationships and divorce and where we are now. And right now I'm working on a piece about marriage, but I'm also working on these collage pieces, mixed collage pieces, where I have embossed women's lingerie, pieces of it, run it through a printing press, and then I add on to it. And they're very abstract. There's really no question about what they are, but they're still abstract. And they're a lot of fun to do.
Yeah.
And they evoke great responses from different
Yeah,
people.
they're a lot of fun to look at.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I did the first show I did with this work. The women came in and were just, and the men went in and went, walked out the door, turned around, totally embarrassed. It was hysterical.
I saw a picture of the book that you sent me, and it was like, whoa, I see. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, well, what I did was I found photos of marriage, photos of couples who were married and are now divorced. I found words that were related to what you think of: promise, love, anything that goes with marriage and these fantasies that we have, and then broken promises. And what happens with the anger and the hatred that happens with divorce. So those words were included. And then I found words like, you are the something of my heart. So I found words that people say and really feel, and then showed what happened to it. And I tried to antique things so that they looked old. So the books are pretty complicated.
I would love to come and see more.
Well, guess what? What are you doing on
Sunday.
May 8th? Yes. I expect to see you at the studio so you can look at them. So, it just, every time I start, I don't exactly know where it's going, and then it evolves into something, and I get caught. And I like it. It's nice.
Nice.
And it makes people think, which is what art's supposed to do, isn't it?
I think so.
I think so.
It should make people consider their own perception of reality. Of what is reality?
I mean, when I did my senior show, a few people were crying, and I thought that was good.
Aww.
That was a really good
yeah.
thing.
Good sign. when
Yeah,
you
it was a
can
good
touch
sign.
emotion.
I think
Yeah.
so. I agree.
Yeah. So anyway,
Nice. And then you do all this other stuff that I feel like
Yeah,
we
just
could
like-
stay like an hours and hours.
well,
listening to stories.
unfortunately, I know way too many young women who are having babies, so they get, relatives. They have to get quilts, and then I have to cook. So yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on.
Now, Chris, can you tell me a little bit about your silversmith
Sure.
and jewel?
Sure. I like to do, my stuff falls into sort of 2 camps. Cast solid forms, which tend to be, nature forms, twigs and stones and things like that. And then more textile techniques, like weaving and knitting of chains, flexible chains, mostly in silver, but I do some gold work as well. And mostly I've been just based out of my own studio in my home, where I do studio tours, not this one, not the one May 8th, but lately I've been working in town with a fellow jeweler and a good friend named Robert Border, who's had a studio in town for decades and recently moved from Main Street to High Street, and so now we're spending some time together, and I'm getting out of my cloister and sort of experiencing, working side by side with somebody or just talking and, passing the time. But there's an exchange, a creative exchange that's happening that's really refreshing. So otherwise, this time of year, I would be outside probably collecting twigs and stuff to be casting as the tree buds open up and change shape and things like that.
And I thought you were going to be gardening. Oh, no.
We don't have enough
Yeah.
sunlight in our yard to garden, really, so I have to do some container gardening.
You can come to my garden and pick some things to you know.
Do some work in your garden.
No, to use for your artwork. I might have a different kind of twig.
Gotcha.
God.
That's awesome, and yeah, I like that that's happening. Now I have so usually we go out to the streets in Brattleboro, and we ask people questions. This question, I just came up with it just now, and I'm gonna go ask it right now. But I'm gonna ask it to you first.
Okay.
In less than 5, like really, the less words you can use, the better. But in less than 3 or less than 5 words,
Yeah.
what would you like to see art related in Brattleboro? You can think about it for a second.
A unified show, a town-wide show.
Nice. Sharon?
I'm still thinking. Because I got to, you know. There's so much here already that it's hard for me to answer that question. Though I'd like to see more sales for everybody.
Or sales?
I don't know how to create that. That's the sticky one for all of us.
Yeah, that is true. Well, let's go ask it right now to, let's ask it now to Brattleboro. Brattleboro, what do you like
What
to
do you
see?
think?
Cut. All right, so I totally messed that up. I did not ask that question to anybody. So if you want to answer that question, please let me know. What do you think? What is a good thing in the art scene in Brattleboro that you would like to see around? Yeah, what would you like to see around? So yeah, tell me, what do you like to see around in the Brattleboro art scene? What I did manage to do is I went to the streets for ArtExtravaganza, and I did this little montage of all this stuff that happened. So I hope you enjoy, okay? And I'll be back in a second. All right, roll the interviews that are there on the streets. All right. Hello, how's it going? This is a really quick report. I'm gonna be going around all the places of ArtExtravaganza. Today there's gonna be some belly dance and all the stuff that you see here. We're gonna try to get it, and hopefully it's fun. So guys, I'll see you guys later. Alright, really quick, I am in the gallery in the woods, and there's some good music going on. Lots of people. This is really fun. And I'll see you guys around. Let's see what other galleries we have. But this is looking good. Still a lot of good art. A lot of people looking at stuff. It's nice. Alright, so as you can see, there's a lot of rain, but there's still a lot of cool people around. And this is awesome. It's like the rain hasn't stopped people from coming out, so it's pretty cool if you ask me. How's it going? I just stumbled upon this place, which is a new gallery here in town. And Sasha, is your, again, the name of the place?
Ruggles and Hunt.
Ruggles and Hunt. And I'm with Laura Sindel, who also has her stuff here.
Yes, we have a whole section. You can see it all behind us here.
It's pretty beautiful. Yeah. So what are you gonna be selling? Or a lot of stuff. But.
We're an everything store. We have clothes, shoes, books, cards, candles, soap, Laura Zindel pottery, kids, baby, lots of toys, nice cookbooks.
And it smells nice too. Smells really nice. A lot of candles.
We're in the soap department.
Oh yeah, that's probably why it smells really good.
Soaps.
So when are you open?
Tonight we opened at 5 o'clock, so we'll be open this weekend. Not Mother's Day, but we're going to be open from now on.
Nice.
7 days a week. 11 to 6. 11 to 6.
And just to give you like a, I guess, directional spot, right across from here is the crafty, Maka Joe's. Right across from Maka Joe's.
Come on down.
Yeah, come on down and make yourself known here. Hey, how's it going? I'm with at the Brattleboro Museum with Marissa Nilsson, and she's gonna talk to you a little bit of what's going on today at the museum.
Thank you. I'm part of the Diversity Equity Committee at the WSCSU district, and every year we put on a diversity celebration for public school students to celebrate the things that they've been doing in their schools. This year our event is here at the museum, In years past, we've actually shut down the streets, but we've sort of been a little pushed out recently. But luckily, we are here at the museum for free tonight, which is great, and just a chance to show our students' artwork and the initiatives that are going on at the public schools that don't often get seen.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff in the high schools I've seen. And you're not from, you say you work in Vernon?
I do, yep. I teach 4th grade at Vernon Elementary School, and we actually just had an artist in residence come this week, Judy Dow, a Beneke teacher and storyteller, and all of the art that you'll see in the museum is from the kids who worked with her this week, kindergarten through 6th grade.
Yeah, we're gonna do a quick look at what's up in the museum. So come and check it out with me. Alright, so there's a lot of cool stuff happening here at the Museum of Art. There's a lot of cool drawings and cool stuff. This is all scratch, if I'm not mistaken. So it's very nice scratching around here. Really weird stuff and really cool stuff. And I'm going to continue on my walk, on gallery walk, because it's getting late. It's almost now like 7 something. Let me check real quick. It is 7:25, so it's not that much time to experience gallery walk. I'll see you guys later. Alright, it's harder than you think to go from one place to another, but I am at the Hooker Dunham, and there is something opening right now. It's my neighbor, Our Bodies and Our Myths. Hopefully we can make it to the other things that are happening, so let's check it out.
But I'm turning off all your lights. I'm in a dream, but I live here half my time.
Cool, so I made it to the last place on my list. This is the Brattleboro Printmakers, which is pretty cool. Just been seeing lady do some chair dancing, which I don't know if you heard about table dancing, but chair dancing is what it's at. It's what kids are doing these days. So anyways, the print shop is a cool place where you can make all kinds of shirts, like this shirt right here. See that? It was made in Brattleboro, so it's kind of cool and stuff. But anyways, this was your gallery report. Thank you. For ArtStory, this is Essler. Alright, so now we've entered, now that you kind of seen my interview skills on the streets and on the studio, I want to tell you one more time. There's a mystery guest. Yeah, there was a mystery guest, and I said yes. That's gonna be me. Oh no, why? That's what you shouldn't be on your own show and be the musical guest. Yes, I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna be the musical guest on my own show. That's gonna land, but that's not that. Para bailar la bamba, para bailar la bamba se necesita una poca de gracia. Una poca de gracia para mí, para ti. Ay, arriba y arriba. Ay, arriba y arriba. Por ti seré, por ti.